So, this is called taking advantage of a situation. We have a 9-foot walkout basement, and once we were building this, I figured it would be a really good spot to create the greenhouse, sprout house, whatever you want to call it. But I had 8 sets of 3-foot wide by 4-foot high double hung windows from a house in Arlington that was being renovated. I had gotten these for free. Of course, I had to pay for them to sit in a storage unit for 6 years, but they were perfect in every way. And I always envisioned that they would be great for a greenhouse, but just moving here, we didn't really have the time, energy, or inclination to deal with one, but I needed something to start seeds. So I used pressure-treated 2x4s to add structure. And those were added after I had already put a 2x4 attached to the deck joists and hung these exterior windows off of that. Again, leveraging the joists. And it worked perfectly. These 5 sets of windows between the joists. And then I used leftover materials, the Trex, which doesn't wick, for the bottom row of the greenhouse, and then hardy plank, which was left over from the siding we did on the house, to help to tie it in. And I'm still needing to trim out and finish some things, but all in good time. This is the forever home. So I had a leftover storm door, which was 3 feet wide and fit perfectly to create this 6-foot by 15-foot greenhouse, sprout house. So dubbed the Sprout House now. So when I built this, I also leveraged additional materials to create the shelving, and it is both functional and making it very structurally rigid. We had leftover cattle panels from the deck that we used for the railings, and that became a very good option to put in for the shelving for putting all the plants on, especially if there's no issue if there is drainage, as long as I don't have things on the bottom shelf, because it is pavers that are over a French drain that runs out beyond the fencing into the pasture below. So it made it very easy to make the decision how I was going to do the shelving. As you can see, I've got a fan going that keeps the seedlings getting a little hardier. I keep an electric radiant heater in here, keep it at 50 degrees, and so it's not going to get too cold in here at night. But this is south by southeast facing, so it gets good morning light and heats up pretty quickly in here, which is really nice. I also have both electric, and we did expand the electrical panel, and I have the hose bib in here so that I always have water throughout the year. This is about to be replaced. As you can see, it's got a leak. It's 15 years old. It will be reallocated out to the high tunnel when we build that later this year. And we're getting the vanity from the basement bathroom to put in here with a kitchen sink drop-in, because we're upgrading the vanity after one of the foster dogs that is now adopted ate part of the bathroom. And so as you can see, I also have windows here that flip out. This is hinged, and I have screen in here so that I can open it up and allow a cross breeze. The top of the storm door is also screened, so I can slide that glass down, and that helps when it gets warmer here in later April and May before everything has been hardened off and moved out. I'm overwintering a couple of millionaires for the hummingbirds. I douse it regularly with Captain Jack's because I don't want to deal with aphids, and it always happens. So that's being taken care of. Everything else is in good shape. I did start using this catchy for fungus gnats, and I've got a few of the little yellow sticky things in and around. But it hasn't been that bad. I think Catchy has done a pretty good job. I have not done any special treatments with mosquito bait or anything else, the little bits that you put in water. So I'm pretty pleased with that. I'm doing cut and come again lettuce for a while now, and then all of these individual ones are going to be popped out in the next few weeks once we're through with the sub freezing or the below freezing temperatures. And you notice there is no citrus. There is some, the lettuce never really did much, so that one's just getting tossed because we really use the others. That was the first one to be sown, and it never did anything but look pretty. And I've set it over here and I'm just dumping it. But we used to have citrus. The citrus it's such a folly to try to do here. That this year I finally just gave up and went, you know what, I need shelving. So I am rather pleased with moving the shelving units in, and obviously that has helped me stay organized and move forward into the new year. So that was a good move. Yeah, I'll just buy citrus at the store. Of course, I don't actually go to a store. I send my husband to a store, and he will buy citrus when I need it. So that's pretty much the status of that. And aside from that, this has been a very successful little greenhouse, sprout house, whatever you want to call it. I highly recommend the Spider Farmer grow lights. They are awesome. I just gave away all my old sort of bendy gooseneck LEDs. I've got more than enough. I'm probably potting up, or yes, I'll pot up the tomatoes, and they'll get this section, and the peas are going to go outside in a few more days. They're beyond wanting to go out. I'm starting to get flower sprouts on them. But since the birds ate all of them that I direct sowed last year, we shouldn't have that issue this year. So that makes it better. Anyway, it's a good functional space. If you have a deck and the ability to do this, especially if it's south facing or like mine, south-southeast, excellent use of space. And it's unobtrusive from a distance. So that was how I maximized materials as well as just the opportunity that presented itself under a deck. Happy growing!